1:34 a.m. Decided I might as well do an update, kind of explain the state of this is Ryan's State of the Union. So, I've got my trailer, of course, the aluminum flatbed. My friend Jim has been working on it in Indiana. Unfortunately, he lives an hour and 45 minutes south of me, so that it doesn't create problems. It's just running ideas by each other and that type of thing is sometimes goofy, but worked pretty well. The trailer, a big thing is we found some cracking in the frame about a year ago after having it for only a few months. So Jim spent a day at the factory and worked with those guys, fixed it, kind of band-aided it. But it's held up pretty well. And the reason he is involved is he is widening it, and he is an aluminum welder. So there's a year ago we kind of started on this thing, and it's been, I've had it, he's had it, I've taken it back, he's got it a couple days, and it always rains. I mean, it's just been one problem after another. Well, this time was no surprise. So when I got the trailer, there was jacks on the side of it. Well, I needed to load my dually on it. I took them off, and the factory owner said, well, that's why they cracked. Why it cracked. You're supposed to stabilize the aluminum because it flexes, being that it's aluminum, so you drive the whole way to the engine over the back end and it's going to flex some. But if you're parked down there, and of course if you have a car, even if the back tires are at the back, then the front tires with the engine would be over top of the axle. So it's supposed to have jacks. So came up with an idea to tuck them up underneath just some normal camper scissor jacks. We bolted some on, and it did okay. It worked temporarily, but the problem is they hung too low and it just ripped right off. Every time you pull out of a low parking lot, they drag, and finally they both ripped off. Literally the first trip. So, since then, I've just used a jack stand, put it under the middle, and if you get too much weight on it, I just pull forward, it tips over, good to go. Not a big deal. Well, finally, I have to go to Seattle to get a bulldozer for Jim, and that was my payment for the fabrication work and the welding work was going to be to go get this bulldozer free of charge. All right, so that's just kind of where we are. So anyways, finally, back in January, originally I was going to go I think September or October. I was going to go last September when I went one of my trips to California. Ended up full, so I couldn't get the dozer then. Last October was going to go, and ended up running out of time. Stuff came up down south, Arizona area where I already was, and it didn't work out. January came, and that was before I did any videos. I ended up beautiful day. I really didn't want to do the trip in the wintertime just because I know the weather can get nasty crossing the country. Well, finally picked a good time to do it. Made my way west. Brought the stuff out there, and this was going to be the return run. Ended up coming home across Wyoming. Beautiful day. The sun was out. There hadn't been snow in weeks. And I ended up the highway was closed due to one of the bridges was washed out. It looped me, GPS routed me off the highway, and all of a sudden I end up in the border of Colorado, 20 miles on a dirt road, and ended up right on I-70 down west of Denver, Silverthorne, right as a blizzard started. So Got stuck in the mountains for 12 hours or so, going uphill. That's really where I burned up my transmission in the Dodge, the second transmission. From there, it had problems. I knew that, but everything was all right. So, made it to Denver, stayed with my cousin, ran into some more problems trying to leave Denver. Just the weather was just terrible. They hadn't had snow in weeks, and then it happened then. So, all right. Well, then, the original plan on my last trip was to go get it. The one where I picked up the semi, tried to drive it off of a mountain, that type of thing. So, you all know the story there. That didn't work out. Well, now we've set a date. We're going to go now. It's summer's already over again, or nearing it. We're end of July at this point. July 23rd, when you'll see this video, or after. You will not see it before it was recorded. I can almost guarantee it. Well, then, dropped the trailer off a couple weeks ago. Again, some bad weather. This week he's been working diligently on it. Just everything takes longer than you think. The jacks, he came up with a great system to slide them up underneath, and so we're pretty happy about that. But the problem is, just took a lot of fabrication, a lot of figuring out of some stuff. Again, not a problem, it's just a time game at this point. And conveniently, one of the jacks was broken. That took a few hours to fix and figure out and all that happy stuff. So now the front jack, the tongue jack, we've straightened out. That was having some problems, and due to the way the coupler is designed, I had to have it on at like a 33-degree angle to where it should normally be. So anyways, as his day went on and I waited and waited, yesterday we realized, okay, well, he was supposed to come up last night to the shop. I had to do bearings, and that didn't end up happening. He ran into some issues. I said, well, why don't you do what you got to do today and just bring it up when you can. So throughout the day, yep, I'm making good progress. Things are just taking a long time, which I expect. I've had plenty of all-nighters in the restoration business. Keep yawning, but I really don't feel tired yet. I'm sure after I quit talking I will, but for now I'm good. This is a long video, but it's fun. And if this is any indication of how this trip is going to go, you are going to want to watch. So anyways, where was I? Oh yeah. So I said, well, why don't you come see if you can get there around 8 or 9 tonight. We'll do the bearings, get the car, the slingshot unloaded, because we still have the slingshot on there from a couple weeks ago going to Florida. All right, sounds good. Well, I call him at 7 or so, or 6 or so. He's like, I don't know, we're pushing it. I don't know. So, okay, let's do this. I said, well, why don't I run down the bearings to you? At this point, the tires were supposed to get changed at the shop, but because the trailer wasn't going to be there, we did a cash and carry. Got out of there with them. So I said, why don't I bring the tires down? Because he has a manual tire changer, and we're just going to change them there. Not so fast. Tire changer will not work on these beads of the tires. They're just a super thick bead, which is good. That's what we want. It's just not our friend. We fought one for over an hour, finally gave up. It's still not on the bead. So, in the meantime, he was supposed to be welding, and I was going to do the tires, even though I'd never done it. He was going to show me how to do one. Okay, away we go. He changed the tire earlier today on the machine. It took him less than 20 minutes. So we thought, well, might have an hour into changing tires, but that's not a big deal. They're done. The welding will be done. We'll be good here. So in the end, that ate up 2 hours of time by the time we discussed things back and forth. And so Now, at this point, we really don't know what's going to happen next. I'm going home. I have all 6 tires in. We ended up not changing any bearings out. We tightened the driver's side. Tomorrow, when he gets up to me with the trailer, we'll change the passenger side. So he happened to have a set of 6 wheels and tires at his house that were not the right size tire, but the wheels fit. It's my old size tire. I ended up swapping sizes, so these give me more clearance on my fenders as well as a lower approach angle. So we threw his wheels and tires on, threw all 12 tires with 6 wheels in the bed of my truck. I'm going home. I've already texted the customer who is expecting me tomorrow and told him we'd be there as soon as we possibly could be. And I've also texted Travis, explained the situation to him because he's been helping me out at the shop. He was going to start working on a floor for the brown and white Shasta, but hopefully he gets my text and is able to come in the morning and get the tires and wheels changed over at this point, because otherwise we're out of luck there. So yeah, stay tuned for some updates. Now it's 1:45. This video so far is 11 minutes and 26 seconds. Just been a not good stretch for us. Just everything seems to fight us and everything takes longer than you expect. I'm used to it at this point, but I just really don't know where all the time has gone. But the way it goes, hopefully the customer is not too upset as far as that goes for this pickup tomorrow. But if he is, I guess I'll deal with the consequences as they come. So stay tuned for updates. Once we're getting on the road, going to be some beautiful country, taking US 2 across through the Upper Peninsula and all the way across. Always wanted to take that drive. So yeah, trying to think if there's anything else pertinent to the situation, but there does not seem to be. So yeah, hopefully he's not too upset with us. That's really our biggest hiccup at this point. The time isn't a big deal for me otherwise, but I know that is. So and again, I don't think so. He's been real good to deal with so far. He's not even there when I get back, I don't believe. So it's not the end of the world. I don't think so, but we're hoping for the best. So stay tuned for more updates. By the time I get home, it'll be after 3:30. Yeah, it'll be about 3. And then from there, I've got to get a shower because I am absolutely disgusting. So, let's see if I can shine a light on me here a minute. I don't know if you can see that or not, but my pants just filthy, shirt disgusting with sweat. It's just terrible. So, yeah, stay tuned for more updates. It's going to be a beautiful trip if we can ever get us on the road. So here I am, somewhere north of the Michigan-Indiana border. That would mean I'm in Michigan somewhere. And cruising along. Good morning to everyone watching the video, and have a good day. Stay tuned for updates.